Hello everyone, we're NanoKnit and this is our team.
I'm Eli.
I'm Amber.
I'm France.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Edison. So first, raise your hand if you've ever been injured before. And to be honest, everyone has. So think about it, you just cut or burn your hand. What's the first thing you do? Well, there's many things. First, you have to clean the wound. You have to stop the bleeding. You have to apply ointment. You have to cover the wound and also monitor for injury. That's a lot of things you need to do, and also a lot of products you need to have, depending on the type of injury and the size of injury. That's where our product, NanoKnit, comes in, an all-in-one, portable, biodegradable, and adjustable solution for injuries.
In our world today, injuries can happen anytime and anywhere. Many people suffer from blood loss injuries and hemorrhage. According to Jay Cannon, in the United States, around 60,000 people die from hemorrhage annually, and a whopping 1.9 million people die worldwide. Cuts are very common to our body, but often overlooked by many. Pathogens enter through open wounds into our body, causing antimicrobial resistance infection and leading to more serious conditions.
And so moving on to current issues, a little bit about the simple hand laceration. It's a light cut that doesn't go too deep into areas like the bones and tendons. And in an article by the National Library of Medicine, there was a study of 125 patients where 5% or 6% of the patients had infections. And to put this into specific details, in California we have around 39 million people, and so 5% of 39 would be 2 million, which is a lot of infections.
So what is our product? Our product is a stretchy gel, as you see here in the image. You can stretch it to fit over any wound. That acts like a second skin that will heal and protect your injury. It lasts for 4 to 5 days before falling off, and its chitosan biopolymer base helps stop blood as well as tissue regeneration. And the silver nanoparticles help kill harmful bacteria. And most importantly, it's portable, cheap, and biodegradable. So why is our product so valuable? You might ask, if I get a cut, why not just use a Band-Aid? If I get burned, why not just apply gel? And if I have a large cut, why not use gauze? Well, that's the problem right there. I just listed multiple products, and NanoKnit removes the need to have multiple products as well as multiple sizes of the product. And in an emergency situation, every second matters. And instead of thinking about what product you should use, you should instantly think NanoKnit, apply the gel, and be safe. So our product has a base cost of 20 cents per unit for 4 by 3 inch. And we're gonna sell a pack of 8 for $4.50 for 280% markup.
And so moving on to the schematic of NanoKnit, on the left we have a little design of how NanoKnit would look like with individually wrapped gel bandages. And then on the right it shows how the gel bandages look like with little silver nanoparticles mixed inside the gel. And for some of the usages, the NanoKnit can be applied to small cuts, larger cuts and burns, and ulcers and blisters.
In the vast market of medical tapes and bandages, the estimated global market size is around $7.79 billion, with the projected market size in 2030 of around $9.86 billion and a compound annual growth rate from 2024 to 2030 of 3.4%.
And so moving on to our product and competitors. So for NanoKnit, it covers all 4 of the criteria of having silver nanoparticles, chitosan for blood clotting, being stretchable and biodegradable. For Bandage and Silvex, it only covers the first column of having silver nanoparticles, and for Neosporin and the basic gel bandages, it covers none of the 4 categories.
So we begin our research by reviewing the literature on chitosan and its biomedical applications. Found out these key features about chitosan. On the right, you can also see the chemical structure of chitosan, and you can see the amine group, NH2. That's it. That's a key feature of chitosan. So when chitosan is not really a soluble in water on its own, but when we have acid, something like acetic acid, which is just vinegar, we can change so basically the NH2 protonates to NH3+, and the positively charged molecule makes chitosan more soluble in water. Also, adding acid also helps form a more uniform structure and a better mechanical strength. So that's why we added it to our further experiments to test the effect on structure and antimicrobial functions. From this, we designed an experiment to test out two things: mechanical stability and antibacterial activity. We made 3 gels, as you can see, with different components, and tested all 3 against lactobacillus, which is a probiotic commonly found in yogurt. And this lets us isolate the role of each component and see how they affect gel structure and antibacterial suppression.
So again, we want our product to be a hydrogel with a full chitosan base and have silver nanoparticles embedded within it. But instead of immediately or directly trying to create our product, we wanted to ensure that a regular gel can have silver nanoparticles that can kill bacteria. So for our proof of concept, we decided to add silver nanoparticles to gelatin. And then we tested their antimicrobial and mechanical properties. We had 3 setups, all with gelatin and 3 milliliters of silver nanoparticles. And then while they were stirring, we added chitosan powder, acetic acid, and a mixture of the 2. After a while, we then transferred them in plastic petri dishes and then refrigerated them for 2 hours. And after that time, they were fully gelled, and now we were ready to test their properties. First, for the antimicrobial property, we used an agar plate with bacteria that had been growing for 1 hour. And then after that, we put the similar proportions of the gels that we had on top of them. And now we can see that the gels with nanoparticles had smaller bacteria colony diameters than the control setup, which had just the bacteria. So we can say that the gels were effective in releasing the nanoparticles and killing the bacteria. But among the 3 gels that we had, gel A has the least bacteria colony diameter, which means that it is the most effective in killing the bacteria. The same pattern was seen for the Young's modulus, which measures the elasticity of the material. Gel A has the highest elasticity of them all, which is what we want for our product, since we want it to be stretchy. So then, now we want to use the formula that we used for gel A, having chitosan and an acid for NanoKnit.
And as you see here, our gel A and B has the stretchiness that we desired. So now let's go into the NanoKnit development timeline. 6 months after our Series A funding, we want to have the desired gel physical properties, such as the stretchiness. After 12 months, we want to have tested the blood clotting properties as well as the antimicrobial properties. And in 1.5 years, we want to have the design and packaging of our product ready for use, not for marketing. And in 2 years, we have our prototype. And at that point, we'll be also filing a utility patent and also expanding and hiring more scientists to prepare for our clinical trials. At that point, we'll also be holding a Series B funding round to fund our clinical trials until we get acquired by a bigger pharmaceutical company. And we're asking for $2.1 million to cover 3 years of funding, which includes our raw material costs, research costs, rent, payroll, and sadly also tax and inflation. And here's some our specific demo splits of our costs. Yeah. So let's pioneer the future of an all-in-one solution together with NanoKnit.
So you are talking about the mechanical properties, and you mentioned stretchiness. Can you be more specific as to, like, is there a certain, like, unit of measure